they all got built back. The sandwiches in the green room, that you were paid for those, everything gets billed back to the artist.
Our brother Rob Shooter. Hi, Rob Shooter.
Which is a miracle because I'm not yet 31. No, which is a miracle.
Where's the Rob Shooter intro?
On the beat.
Here we go. Rob Shooter of the Barry Manilow interview.
Thank you.
Here we go. Let's bring him in. Sing it, Barry.
Scandal and vice, or sugar and spice. It's naughty but nice. Rip Rob.
And his new intro this week.
It started with the whisper, and that was when I kissed her.
We're celebrating his new book. It started with a whisper.
It's so
Already
exciting.
#1 on the New York Times bestseller list.
Well.
Thanks to your Megyn Kelly interview.
God bless her. I did Megyn Kelly, and she sent me into this stratosphere of authors, the Colleen Hoovers, and I feel quite bad. All these really respectable authors are looking at the top 10 list, and there's Rob Shooter right in the middle.
It's wild, isn't it?
It's wild. Really exciting, and so I've been doing publicity. You were first there, my friend. You're the one that put me on the map doing this, and so thank you, everybody that has bought the book. It's really, really exciting. Briefly, what the book is about is 4 entertainment insiders who get a morning show on a struggling cable network, and they gossip about the celebrities Monday to Friday, but it becomes evident very quickly that the real gossip is not about the stars, but about themselves. Everybody at that table, maybe everybody in this room, has a secret, and that's what the book is about.
There you go. Well, congratulations on a great launch. But you know what? That's the thing about the book thing. It will sell, and then 2 years from later, people will still be buying it.
Isn't it? It's lovely. And
It's weird.
People now are reading it. So I've been talking about this. It feels like months and months and months, and nobody ever read it because it wasn't out. And now people are reading it, and it's lovely. I'm getting emails and DMs and questions. I feel like we've created our own little book club on social media. And so if you read a chapter and there's a question, you can DM me, and I'm going to answer. And so it's a really lovely moment of reliving a story that I wrote a year ago, and so I'm sort of reliving it through everybody else, and it's really fun.
That's so cool.
Well, I bought 3 copies.
Thank
They're
you.
at home waiting for me now.
Wow.
I tried to get a free one from Rob. I said, you know what? When I came out with my book, I always had books to give people. He only has one book.
Yeah.
And he doesn't give it to anyone.
No, I've got one
Yeah,
book.
why didn't you give it out to
Do you know
anybody?
why? This is so a friend of mine, it wasn't Elvis, a friend of mine a couple of years ago had a book. She gave the book to everybody who was going to buy it, and she didn't sell any books. So I thought my audience was pretty limited. It was like, maybe 100, maybe 1,000 sort of New Yorkers in the business, people that work in media. And so if I gave the book to that 1,000 sort of friendship base, they would buy it. And so I've only got one book. So if you want it, you got to buy it. 20
That
bucks.
makes sense.
But you would buy me a drink if we went out tonight for a bar. And in New York City, a drink is more expensive than the book.
Yeah.
So I say to people, if you're willing to buy me a drink, I love a drink, then buy the book. It's probably cheaper.
Yeah.
So the other night, we threw a big book party. We celebrated. And Gandhi was there.
Yep.
Scary showed up.
I know.
And a lot of interesting people were there at your party, and everyone was there for one reason and one reason only, and that is you. You are loved. Rob, you guys agree?
Yes,
Rob,
of course.
you are loved by everyone.
It's a lovely feeling because you don't ever look at that. You just live your life and you get up each day. And I was nervous. I felt like I was a 12-year-old boy at school. It was my birthday and I'd invited everybody to my party, and you sit there. You're the first to arrive. So I got there at 5 o'clock and I was the only person there. And I was like, oh gosh, is this what it's going to be like?
Well, it packed up. It was a crowd.
It was great.
That's awesome.
It was really great. And I love the fact you used the word interesting. We've really managed to collect throughout our lives, if we're lucky, a real interesting bunch of people. And I love all these people in one room together. It's almost like a social experiment,
Well,
and I felt like it was fun.
As expected, a lot of wacky people. Oh, no, there were some people that really should have security on them at all times. But very, very, very loving people who love you very much. Now, Rob, so it started with a whisper. It starts with a whisper.
Yes.
So make sure you pick it up today. It's available. And I have 3 at my house, so those are mine.
If you order it today, because I just ordered it.
Yeah, oh, thank you.
Of course, you're welcome. it can get to your house by tonight between 5 and 10 p.m.
I'll be taking questions tomorrow
There you
morning.
go.
Any questions you have. And there's a lot of people in there that you're probably going to recognise. I've changed some names. And so...
Like D-Pitty?
sniff around. Is that Froggy? They're Froggy. How am I selling in Florida? How's my Florida branch?
We'll make sure it's a Florida bestseller.
Absolutely. The citizens of Florida need it. All right, let's talk about some real gossip.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk. Where do you want to start today?
Anyone, send the list. What do you want to start with? What's the big
Harry Styles.
This is a big news because I know Scary bought tickets.
Yes.
They're really hard to get tickets. And it's not right because if you try to buy a ticket for Harry Styles, you probably didn't get one. And that's because scalpers bought all these tickets. Ticketmaster, who's in trouble, they just got sued, are now trying to make things right because they don't want to get in trouble again. So they've managed to figure out all the tickets that were bought by scalpers. They've took them back and they're going to reissue them. So if you didn't get a Harry Styles ticket...
Oh, that's why more tickets are coming on board.
Yeah.
It's the scalper tickets. So if you want a Harry Styles ticket, they're expensive, but they're not the crazy scalper prices. I couldn't afford it. Scary, what did you pay? They were really expensive.
How much did you spend on your tickets?
I haven't bought any yet. That's why I'm looking at you. You must be confusing me.
Oh,
with
I love
someone
that.
else.
It's Cheryl Crowley told me this, so she's hopeless.
Gossip.
I love it that if there's no story, Rob will make one up.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, Scary Jones from the Elvis Duran Morning Show went out to buy tickets, couldn't afford them.
I do want tickets, so if you know anyone,
You're going to get them now. So the scalper
April
tickets...
30th, right?
Yeah,
I
it's
think,
gone back to... But what's interesting about this and slightly annoying is that if Ticketmaster, if they could fix this so quickly, which they could, why didn't they do this before?
Well,
it's just,
they're under the microscope, I'm assuming. Okay, so you know what I want to see? I don't know if you guys want to see it. The Michael Jackson biopic.
Yeah.
See, here's what I think they did wrong. It's his family who did
Right.
it. So
Yes.
what they're not telling the full story,
They're not
obviously.
telling. It's complicated, isn't it? Because if you want to use his music, you can't do the Michael Jackson movie without the music. If you want to use his music, then you have to get approval from the estate.
Right.
And so the estate went through this script really like a bunch of lawyers. And I've seen the movie. It feels as if it has been put together by lawyers, not by writers. And so it's really, really vanilla. Now, they have done this in the past. The Freddie Mercury movie, Bohemian Rhapsody, that was fantastic. So I think it told the truth, but also, too, was a kind version of it. The Elton John movie, Rocket Man, was fantastic. The Jackson people do not mess about. They want the legacy to be about one aspect of Michael's life, and so anything controversial, including plastic surgery and legal issues, it's not there. So it feels like an odd movie. It feels like they're not telling the whole truth.
Right.
And critics hated it, but you never know. He's got a huge fan base. He's got a show on Broadway still. Maybe the fans will turn up.
And
Okay.
doesn't his nephew play him in the movie?
He does. So
How does he do?
Really great.
Okay,
Really
good.
great. Janet's not in the movie.
Yeah.
So Janet wouldn't let them. So Janet has not turned up for the press either. And so it's interesting just seeing which family members are still around. It's a complicated family.
So, speaking of films, I'm almost afraid to ask because I haven't seen it yet. Devil Wears Prada 2. What are we hearing? You know, we had someone on the other day who saw it, and I asked what they thought of the film, and there was a moment. There was a second before they started talking.
A couple of indications. So they did a big premiere. How rude. They did it the same night as my book party.
I know.
They were
You're right.
trying to bring me to that. Anne Hathaway, if you're listening, I know what you're up to. And so on Monday night, they had their premiere in New York, and it's so interesting. They didn't have really many press people at the premiere. It was social media influencers, and what they wanted to do was flood our feeds with gorgeous fashion, not actually any sort of questions.
Right.
And the critics have not been allowed to see this movie, so nobody
So we don't
has
know.
seen it. But that's a very bad sign. Normally, if you've got something excellent, you push it out there, which is why I've only got one copy of my book. I don't want anything. I'm restricted. And so I know people that went to the screening on Monday, the big premiere, and they said the fashion's fantastic. It looks gorgeous. Is it fun to see Miranda Priestley again? Yes. So seeing these characters again, but it's not great.
Oh, well. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I'm not expecting a miracle.
No.
I'm not. It's the second one. It's got to be just kind of a spoofy thing for the first.
Yeah, and this happened with Sex and the City. Those movies weren't that great, but I loved them. I just wanted to see Carrie Bradshaw again. I wanted to see the dresses and the fashion. So if you enjoyed the Sex and the City movies, we did, then you're going to love this. It is gorgeous. The fashion, It's
And they all look fantastic still.
They look
it's crazy.
fantastic. Meryl is just eating the scenery. I wish the story was a little bit more.
Okay, all right.
But it's still worth, I think.
We're gonna see it.
We've got to see it.
No matter what. Yeah, Nate.
Can I ask a publicist?
Oh,
Seriously, because this is
he's
what
right
he
here,
does.
so
This is
yeah,
what you've done.
This
right?
is the time to do it.
So, publicists get publicity for stuff.
They do.
But now it's more influencers. How do you, as a publicist, feel about that they're inviting influencers to do these things as opposed to a publicist to generate buzz?
I liked the old way. I liked it. You did Elvis Duran show, you did the Today Show at GMA and People Magazine, and you went home. It was lovely. That was the press tour.
You're saying we are the old way.
You are the only way that's still relevant in my new way.
Nice catch.
And so now it's a different world. When you used to go to a PR office, our Rolodexes, our databases would be all the traditional shows. Now PR companies specialize in just social media and influencers. They have power. The world has changed. And people now, I get my information from my phone. I get it from YouTube and TikTok. And so publicists have had to adapt. And actually the profession has changed too, because now you don't need a publicist like you used to. If you want to make an announcement, you don't have to call me to put out a press release. You go to Instagram. You do it yourself. Kim Kardashian has hundreds of millions of followers. There's not one outlet in the world that has as many followers as the celebrity is. So why do I need a story in a magazine when I can just announce it on my own social media? We don't get those big wedding pictures anymore in magazines or baby pictures because the celebrities do it themselves.
They
and
control it.
control
Yeah, that's
the
right.
image.
Wow. There
Remember
you go.
when there used to be a fight for like the first picture of the kid?
Oh,
yeah.
I've done some of those. When I was at OK Magazine, let me tell you how it worked. So they won't send you the photos. You have to go to Getty Images or one of the big photo agencies, and you walk in, and it's like bidding on a house. You go and you see the pictures, and then you have to put a sealed bid in an envelope. And there's OK and people and us weekly, and then whoever bids the highest gets it. So you don't want to overbid, but then again, if you're too low, you're not going to win it.
Wow.
It was a really fun experience, but those days are gone.
Yeah.
Now put it out on Instagram.
Well, let me ask you a question. I'm going to direct this to you, Gandhi.
Okay.
Let's say you're a big fan of, name an artist.
Madonna.
Madonna.
Okay.
Okay. And she has a baby. Okay, or she adopts a baby. And People Magazine comes out with the very first photo of that baby. Does that make you love People Magazine more because they had the first photo of a baby from Madonna?
No, not at all.
See, I don't understand. I think that, like, for instance, in radio, we used to fight to be the first station to play a new song. And we would make a big deal of a world premiere. You can't hear it anywhere but here at Z100. I don't know really why that was that impressive to anyone, because they're going to hear the song everywhere anyway.
Right.
Yeah. I think it's actually when I see it posted in some super fancy publication versus just rolled out on their Instagram page, I think, ew, this is so curated. I know that it is either way, but it feels more organic to just post it on your page than to go to People Magazine, have a discussion, get an envelope, and then give the pictures.
And
Exactly.
the way they work it out is they don't put babies on the cover because they're great people. They might be nice people. It's all about money. What we do is we figure out how many extra issues we will sell with that wedding photograph, with that baby picture, and then we times how many issues by the price of the magazine, and that's how you come up with a number.
Wow.
So if you're going to sell an extra 500,000 copies at $6.99, you do the math, and then you offer the celebrity less, and then you both make money.
Wow.
It's all about the money,
Yeah.
baby.
Money.
He was telling me before how they still, like, say, you want to promote, your album or whatever, and you pay for a party, or the record label puts out the money for the party, and then you stay in this lavish hotel and you take a big airline. He says you still have to pay that money back.
You do.
Yeah, I nearly didn't do a book party. Thank you, Haven Rooftop at the Sanctuary Hotel. Thank you very much, because they gave it me for free. But I wouldn't have done a book party.
Why
'cause
not?
that party.
It's not for free. You just mentioned their name on our show.
There you go, Elvis. In fact, they send us money.
And
Thank you.
he was a lovely gentleman.
Wasn't he lovely? And the place was nice too.
Gorgeous.
It was
But you would
gorgeous.
have had to pay that
I would have had
back?
to pay it back, and it wouldn't have been worth it. So if that party had cost me 10, 20,000, I don't know, like it's expensive in New York, I would have rather spent that money on books. I would have rather bought my own book.
Well, therefore, you have no money. You only have one
I've only
book.
got one book. It's terrible.
And you know what? If you watch Boy Band Confidential, which is just have you seen it?
I love it.
Fantastic.
No Justin though. Where's Justin?
Yeah, Justin.
He didn't sit down for an interview. He's in the story.
Yeah, no.
But he didn't sit down.
He's got
kinda
stuff.
going through
He's got stuff
he's
going on.
busy.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
busy.
They make it very clear that I think it was 98 Degrees, talked about every single penny that was spent on every party, every collaboration they did came out of their paycheck. They got no money.
He was telling me how stupid the Spice Girls were
when
this
I used
one
to work
time.
with the Spice Girls in London, they were playing Wembley, a major thing. And so the record label said, do you want like a van to take you all to the concert, or would you all like your own limo? And they said, we'll all have our own car. They all got built back. The sandwiches in the green room, that you were paid for those, everything gets billed back to the artist.
So crazy.
It's crazy, isn't it? That's
so
why,
crazy.
honestly, one book, that's all we can afford. Keep it cheap.
So talking about boy bands, can we talk about the controversy with One Direction that kind of just broke over the weekend? Apparently it happened a while ago, but it just happened
Yeah,
to come out.
Yeah.
What's going on?
It's so difficult. Those groups, these are young people who haven't yet sort of discovered who they are, and they suddenly become very rich, very powerful, and very famous, and it's almost like a pressure cooker. This is why your favourite bands sometimes don't make it. This is why sometimes they fall out. And so it's a miracle groups that still tour. When I look at the Rolling Stones or Bon Jovi, although, you know, Richie Sambora are in there, but like it's a miracle because it's such a high-pressured environment that these stories are bound to ultimately come out. So, yeah, it's sad, but it's just a reality of the business.
But
Do you
do
hear
we
that?
I do hear it.
Just ignore it.
Just ignore it.
Do we know what's going on with Zayn? Because he said he's, in the hospital having a medical issue. But we don't know what's happening.
He suffers. Like he has really difficult problems, and I think fame has made it maybe even worse.
Well, they're saying there's a heart problem.
Yeah.
Heart problems, but I think he's talked in the past about his struggles. And so it's a lot. It breaks your heart. You know, we look at Britney Spears and we just want that Britney back, and that probably isn't going to happen. Sad.
Yeah.
Wow. So who else you got gossip on today?
Who else should we talk about?
Spill the tea. Spill the
Who else?
tea.
Oh, let's talk about Taylor Swift's wedding. Oh.
Okay.
So the reason, so we know the date. We know that it is July 3rd, but we don't know where it is. And the reason we don't know where it is they don't know where it is. I have a couple of people I know who have got the save the date, the invite. There is no address on.
Yeah, but maybe they're going to not give that to anybody till the last
That's
minute.
what they did.
Yeah.
Kim and Kanye did
Yeah.
that. Remember, they said just be in Paris, be in France, but they didn't tell anybody where it was.
Get on the bus.
Get on the buzz.
We'll take you there.
Wow. We'll find out.
We will find out. Do you think Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively will make my book into a movie?
Ooh, very luck.
I bet that would be a seamless production.
Now we're getting a little controversy.
That'd be lovely.
If you could represent somebody right now that you think needs the most PR help, who would it be?
Oh, the Housewives are over. So I just think the Housewives need help. They were the biggest stars in the world, and now I just don't think we're that into them anymore. And I think that that's sort of a brand that I loved that's just in such a bad shape now. Maybe there's too many of them. Maybe we just moved on. The one I'd love to represent, who I have such a crush on, is Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh, wow.
Something about her has just popped for me. I think I saw her on Taylor's tour. Did she come out and be a supporting artist?
She did.
She was good, but she wasn't Taylor Swift. Now I am all in with Sabrina Carpenter, and the fact that she sang Copacabana at Coachella doesn't make me hate her.
Did you get money out of that?
Millions, Elvis.
Look at that.
No, I bought 2 books.
Speaking of, it started with a whisper. This is Rob's book. We want to support our Rob. I mean, it's the least we can do for all the fun and all the frivolity you bring into our room. And so it started with a whisper. You got to order it now. He only has 1 copy left.
For me, there's plenty for you. It's really close. My publisher called me this morning, really giddy with excitement, and he didn't need to do this book. I'm going to be forever grateful, although I think I'm going to make him some money. But I didn't know that when he signed it, and he told me we're really close to maybe making the New York Times bestseller list.
Wow.
And this weekend is make or break. This is the weekend. So if you're going to buy it, please think about doing it this weekend now.
You would do it.
Offer.
It
Nice.
only has to be on that list for an hour.
That's it.
And then it will forever be a New York Times.
It's going to be on my tombstone. When I die, it's going to say New York Times, hopefully, best-selling author.
We can do it. We can do it, Rob.
We can do it.
It'll happen.